Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So today's upload, as you can tell by the title of the video, we will be talking about a storm system that will be coming across this upcoming weekend into a good portion of the northern United States. It will be impacting us with showers, storms, and we definitely want you to keep you updated on this, so I'll be talking about this for the next few days. And overall, the pattern just looks very, very active, so I could make a separate video on that, possibly. We'll see. But if you guys would like to subscribe to this channel, we do all sorts of weather-related content. I'm not a meteorologist, I'm a hobbyist, but we have a whole group, quite a bit of people that are weather enthusiasts, weather fans, and we do fun stuff on here, so definitely consider subscribing. And now, if you're a returning viewer, liking the video would be amazing, so that would help out a lot. So let's get right into this video. Let's start off by looking at the GFS. Let's go back to Tropical Tidbits, by the way. People ask me what website I use. This is the #1 website I use, Tropical Tidbits. It's a very, very, very good website, and it's free, and it's very user interface friendly. It's just a all-around very, very great website, so I highly, highly recommend it. Notice right now we're in a dry pattern. I've been saying this for a few days, and it maintains itself. A few showers across the south and the northeast yesterday. If you lived across western New Jersey, Pennsylvania, there was, at around the nighttime, there was a pretty nice cluster of storms that came across those areas. Dropped some, they were severe warned, had some large hail and damaging winds, and yet they were in a marginal area, just, thunderstorms. So, these storms sometimes do occur even when it's not predicted, which makes these kind of dangerous, kind of wild and unpredictable, if you will, and they're powerful if they when they do occur. Notice, though, no big system. We start seeing an increase of showers across the southeast as we go further into the week. Also, we start seeing more shower activity across the northern United States into southern Canada. So if you live across north of Lake Superior, by kind of by James Bay area, notice that we'll be seeing some showers and storms. Really, this first one kind of evolves into a smaller system across the northeast. The bigger interest is right here across the northern Midwest. Notice that we start seeing a storm that is actually pretty well organized, and apologize, my phone was ringing. I don't know if you heard that. No one important, but notice we could be definitely looking at possibly some severe weather late Friday into early Saturday coming across the Midwest. It quickly turns into a nice low pressure. We have a cold front, we have a warm front. Really not awfully huge. It's not awfully organized, but it is a low pressure, and the chances of storms are going to be elevated around it. And again, any storm at this time of the year could be severe and could be powerful and deadly or extremely destructive, and they may not even be predicted to be destructive, as we saw with that derecho that one on Monday, August 13th, I think. I don't remember exactly, but notice this storm does kind of take a turn to the south. We see a nice cold front developing across Missouri, Illinois. Some thunderstorms definitely possible, if not likely, with this severe weather. Seems to be definitely on the limited side, but again, it's late August at this time, August 23rd. So the threat for some severe thunderstorms is still very, very real. Notice the storm system kind of moves into the Michigan and into the upstate. The difference between this system and other systems is this storm will actually move into the northeast and impact them with lots of rain, lots of showers, so that will definitely be a bit of a change, as previous systems just kind of dwindled as they approach the East Coast. This one will maintain itself pretty strong. You can see as it moves into southeastern Canada, and really we won't even catch a break from this, as notice we have another large. This one could be very, very severe. This one has a lot more severe potential with it, and you can see it's a much larger storm, and it brings up moisture from the tropical areas, the Gulf of Mexico, and even if this storm isn't the biggest storm, it's powerful, and it could definitely deliver quite a bit of rain and showers and thunderstorms. We have a second one that comes. We have a lot of showers across the southeast. We see a lot of storms, potential for a larger system. We see a cooler air mass, sets the stage for a giant cyclone, and this one could be like a land cyclone. You can see just an absolute monster of a storm, which we'll definitely have to watch going into early September, which, again, around that time we start seeing those giant fall storms. As of now, it looks as if these two first storms will be a bit smaller, but again, a very active pattern nonetheless heading towards our area. So let's just take it through 384 hours. I just want to look at the total precipitation, and you'll notice that the precipitation amounts are pretty high. The Midwest, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and the Northeast. I really mentioned these two states particularly because they have a drought across these areas. You can see possibly some relief coming, more than an inch, more than 2-3 inches in some locations, and wherever thunderstorms do develop, it could be some ridiculous amounts. Notice southeast, some amounts well into the 12 to 14 inch range right there, so definitely a bit of a concern. Pockets of 6-7 inches where a thunderstorm lines do occur, thunderstorm clusters. The west also seeing a bit of rain. You can see completely not dry like they were for a long time, even getting on some of those 2-inch amounts across the mountains. So it's definitely some good news. Looks as if a weather pattern is coming across the United States, which is obviously good news. Look at a Canadian. I don't like the Canadian model really, but you can see it shows a much drier pattern, and it really keeps the storms much smaller, and it doesn't keep them significant. It shows a lot of tropical activity. It just doesn't show these storms being big. You can see it shows this storm that the GFS showed pretty similar results, just a bit tad weaker, and it does not show the second storm to the same intensity that the GFS shows it, and it takes it much further to the north. But it definitely still introduces some precipitation, so not a completely dry scenario, obviously, and definitely still, I would say, agreeing with the GFS. Well, let's look at the GEFS ensembles. I want to look at the total precipitation anomaly, a 7-day anomaly, so we could get a gauge of where it's drier, where it's wetter. Areas where it's green, it's wetter. Areas where it's yellow, it's drier. You can see this slowly starts eating away, and the Midwest just takes over with these green colors as we start seeing the large thunderstorms and large storm systems coming across the northern United States. And it will be not, it could be as far west as Montana and Wyoming, and as far east as the Atlantic Ocean. Notice the south also staying pretty wet for the beginning, but then maintaining dryness. You can see the GEFS ensembles are saying that south may be dry, but again, the GFS by itself shows ridiculous amounts, so this may not necessarily be true. Notice the west isn't really dry. It has a few dry patches. Sorry, I keep combining those two words, but it has a few dry, below average areas, but really it's more closer to normal, so definitely some rain will probably be on the way. Let's look at the European model. The European model is a very high regarded model. It's usually associated with being a better model than the GFS. And quite frankly, it's completely better than the Canadian. And we look at this. Notice we don't see a lot of precipitation. We don't see a lot of moisture. We see a few storms across the northern United States come Wednesday into Thursday. Really just staying across southern Canada, north of Superior, north of Lake Huron. Some showers, some thunderstorms, definitely by Thursday and Friday. Anywhere else, though, the weather looks pretty darn clear, pretty darn dry. The southeast, if you're traveling across those areas, you will encounter a few showers, especially towards the end of the week. But the Midwest is just in the central part of the country, just stays high and dry. This changes by this upcoming weekend. We start seeing, again, more activity towards the northern United States. Even more across the south, we start seeing more tropical activity. We start seeing these storm systems, which the GFS has a bit further to the south. The European keeps it further to the north. Again, this is still up to this still may change, but it definitely introduces a few clusters across the Midwest and North Dakota where they could definitely produce some showers and severe thunderstorms. We have a nice cold front that drags us across the area. And, just because this doesn't impact the U.S. doesn't mean that I'm not going to talk about it, because I have a lot of viewers from southern Canada, so this is still very important to notice that while this may not be affecting much of the United States, it's affecting a large portion of southern Canada as it tracks into Quebec. A strong, powerful cold front for sure with this storm. And again, this is still all up for grabs. This may track further to the south like the GFS is saying. It may track even further to the north like the European is saying, or it may be kind of in between. Right now, it's, they're kind of divided. The European is pretty far to the north, while the GFS is pretty far to the south. Notice, though, the European really quickly introduces that second storm, which the GFS agrees with, and this one is actually in the U.S. soil, so it definitely has more of an impact, but also travels across southern Canada, drags a powerful cold front, and a lot of activity. Just you can see more showers and more rain. If you were to look at the total accumulated precipitation, again, it's pretty impressive just for 240 hours. In terms of coverage, maybe not the greatest across the northern United States. Southern Canada, though, definitely sees a bit more, and again, the GFS is further to the south, so this could still 100% change. But generally speaking, you have to watch out. It looks as if a storm system may be coming this weekend, and it could bring a threat of some severe storms and a heavy rain. I want to look at the 6 to 10 and 8 to 14 day outlook. You can see this is from the 24th through the 28th. In terms of temperatures, it looks rather warm. You notice that earlier the GFS was introducing a bit of some cooler air across the eastern United States. You can see the Climate Prediction Center isn't really buying into that. They are showing a bit of a chance for below average temperatures across the northern United States, extreme northern United States, but anywhere else they are showing warm temperatures. They're not overly confident. You can see right here it's just 40%, but it definitely still is leaning towards the warmth. Notice in terms of precipitation, the dry just gets limited to the southwest, while the above average kind of maintains itself across a good portion of the north into even parts of the west and the southeast and the east coast. The 8 to 14 day outlook in terms of temperatures is very similar. They introduce maybe a bit more of that cooler air, so we'll have to see whether or not the GFS is right with that and whether or not the European model agrees with that. You're going to notice that they introduce a bit more cooler air, generally drier as the further, or generally warmer as you go further to the south. The confidence increases. In terms of precipitation, we get a bit of a flip up. We start seeing drier conditions across the west and much wetter across the east. Really anywhere east of the Rockies, we see above average, especially centered across the eastern Great Lakes. So definitely an above average pattern for the northern and eastern United States in terms of precip. A big storm again starts off, kicks this parade of storms off this upcoming weekend, and definitely stay safe. Stay on the radars. Keep your eyes to the sky as these storms, could become severe or could overperform like we saw last Monday. Not yesterday, but the Monday before that with the derecho that occurred. If you were to look at the Storm Prediction Center, you could see we don't have any threats as of now, no area, but that's because it's just too far out still. They just have a general thunderstorm risk and a large marginal area, but I'm sure this will get updated as we go forward in time. This is still very preliminary, but notice that this is what we have for right now. And really not that much action going on as of now across the United States, but definitely, it doesn't have to be a active day in terms of the Storm Prediction Center's outline in order to see some thunderstorms. You can see some storms right here, and they don't even have a thunderstorm mention. So definitely, it's tough to predict these type of things. So thank you guys so much for watching. Consider liking, consider subscribing to this channel, and I'll catch you all guys in the next episode. See ya. Bye.